Public speaking is terrifying, and three-quarters of us fear public speaking more than death. It's so hard not because you're bad at it, but because no one's ever shown you how to do it right. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to become a speaker that people actually want to listen to, and how to stop feeling that your heart's about to explode just before you walk on stage. My name's Dave Mack. I've trained CEOs, executives, and managers of some of the world's biggest pharmaceutical, manufacturing, and tech companies. And I can tell you this, the best speakers in the world aren't born confident. They do a few key things differently. Master these things and you'll sound natural, look confident, and feel calm every time you speak. Here are the 10 ingredients of killer speeches. Treat your presentation like a conversation. Imagine you go out for a drink with friends. One of your friends is talking and he's speaking word perfect. Perfect pauses, perfect enunciation. It sounds exactly like he's reading an essay. The more he talks, the more you realize everything he says sounds unnatural and rehearsed. And what he's saying doesn't match his body language. This is what most people sound like when they speak from the stage. They've spent so much time rehearsing that they're so focused on remembering the words, they can't think about anything else and they can't deliver any of their points naturally. Now, if your friend did talk this way, it wouldn't be long before you told him, "Hey, what are you doing?" or you excused yourself from the conversation. The same thing happens every day with audiences across the world. We excuse ourselves by switching off. Good speeches are natural and conversational in nature. That's what we like to listen to. Look at any of the popular TED Talks. These talks don't focus on perfection. These talks focus on engaging the audience with a conversational tone. And the great thing about a conversational tone is you don't need to focus on having the tone. You just need to speak the same way you would in a regular conversation. Your focus needs to be simply on 2 points only: your knowledge of the subject matter and what it is you want your audience to take away from your talk. In summary, be conversational and you'll keep your audience engaged. Be yourself. You know, when you're talking to someone and something just feels a little bit off, a little bit disingenuous, a little bit fake. Maybe it's in a business meeting and you feel like one of your colleagues is acting. This is pretty easy to spot, right? And it's pretty easy to spot when someone is doing a speech and they are acting too, when they're not being genuine. And the lesson here is don't try to be someone you're not. Don't act, just be yourself. Your audience will always respond negatively to acting, whether that's overt response or just a response like switching off. But if you just be yourself, the audience is going to respond positively because they can feel the genuineness. If you make a mistake, just move on. This is such a simple rule, but it's so difficult for people to follow. Everyone wants to be perfect. No one wants to make a mistake. That's how we were raised. So when you make a mistake in your speech, it can be tempting to over-apologize, beg forgiveness from the audience. In fact, in many situations, it throws you off. You mispronounce a word, you forget something, you get concepts muddled up, and you start to over-apologize, you forget where you were in your presentation, you struggle to get back on track. It's a nightmare. But here's the thing, most people don't notice, and even if they do, they don't care, because we're human. We make mistakes all the time. If you're in a conversation with someone and you make a mistake or you mispronounce a word or whatever, you don't let it bother you. You just say it the right way and then you move on. This also applies if you forget something. If you forget something you're going to talk about, don't stand on the stage not talking, smacking yourself on the head trying to remember what it was. Just move on. The audience doesn't know you forgot something unless you tell them. Really important rules of thumb. If you make a mistake or you forget something, Just move on. Pick a destination. Imagine your boss gives you a week off, so you drive home, you throw all your clothes into a suitcase, chuck it in the back of your car, drive to the airport, and think, oh, where shall I go? That's not the way it's meant to happen, right? Typically, you pick a destination first and everything flows from there. When to buy tickets, knowing what to pack, even arriving at the airport with enough time to check in. The same thing should happen with your speech. Decide what's the point you want to get across and what is it you want the audience to take away from this before you do anything else. If someone asks you to do a speech, the last thing you should do is jump on PowerPoint and start banging out slides. First decide, what do you want the audience to do? What do you want the audience to take away from your talk? If you don't know, don't do anything else until you do. Visual communication is everything. The content of your talk is important, and how you say it is important too. But even more important is how you look when you deliver it. If your visual communication lacks confidence and doesn't inspire the audience, then they're going to switch off. They're not going to listen to your message. You can encourage the audience to listen to your great content by projecting a confident style when you deliver it. And this is not advice like, just be confident. There are things that you can do to project that nice, confident visual communication. You project credibility and confidence through an open body position, through strong eye contact, through great posture, gestures, and purposeful but limited movement. You need empathy. The ability to empathize with others is important in every area of life, especially in your speech. If you don't care about the audience, if you can't relate to them, they can tell. They know you're there just to get through the talk and get back off stage. And the less you care about them, the less they care about you. Show them that you empathize by demonstrating your understanding of the challenges they have with the topic. If it's a business-related talk and you're actually asking them to take some action that's going to be bothersome, empathize with them and show that you understand it's going to be bothersome, but at the end of the day, this is the bright future they can look forward to if they take that action. Your first words are the most important thing. Your audience will be quick to judge you, so make your first words count. Start with a strong statement that intrigues them and also projects confidence. Avoid the typically boring things like the good mornings and good afternoons. Fire them up with something that they weren't expecting that also gets them interested. For example, from next week, your workload becomes significantly lighter. Your final words. Your audience is most easily going to remember the first thing and the last thing you say. In your final words, give them something positive to associate with your speech. Together, we can all do this. Thank you. Sounds great, but it's a bit boring. Try something like, remember, all you need to do is make that one simple change, and your entire daily routine becomes easier. Prepare your speech in a specific order. This one's tough, and most people cannot do this. And why is this point so difficult? Because it requires more thinking than doing. And it goes against everything you've been conditioned to understand about speeches and presentations. Prepare your speech in the following order. Decide what the takeaway is for the audience. Draft out the points that you need to cover in order to get the audience to that takeaway point. From here, make a basic outline of your speech, not a script. If there's any part of the outline that you don't know very well, before you go any further, learn more about it. It's important you understand your topic very, very well. Start practicing. Based on the outline, start practicing talking about each of the points you want to deliver. Continue practicing until you have a cohesive speech you can deliver without a script, without prompts, and without cue cards. Now videotape yourself delivering that talk and watch it back with a critical eye. After you've watched it back, pick the two biggest things that you think are a problem and address those issues through more practice. Time permitting, repeat this step until you've ironed everything out. Now it's time to build your slides, but only if you need them. At this point, as you're building your slides, you should use your latest video as a way to guide how you design the slides. All the slides should do is emphasize the key points in your speech. If you design any slides that require you to turn around and look at them during your speech, and even worse, read from them, those are not slides that belong in your talk. A key evaluator about whether your slides are effective or not is if the audience is going to be looking at you when you show the slide on the screen, then the slide is working as it's intended. It's background to emphasize what you're talking about. If you flash a slide on the screen and the likelihood is the audience is going to look at the slide, that means you've got a problem. The slides shouldn't be a distraction. Silence is your friend. While you were watching the recordings of the practice you did, you'll have noticed something. There's probably some ums and ahs and okay and words, filler words like this in your speech. And these words tend to make you look unprepared or forgetful. And it's much better whenever you feel like you're about to say one of these filler words, stop, and instead of saying the filler word, allow some silence. Pauses are extremely effective in a speech and counterintuitively will make you look confident. You'll appear cool, calm, and collected because you're silent for a moment instead of filling the dead space with ums and ahs. If you want to get over your fear of public speaking and confidently engage your audience, grab my Stage Mastery system from the link below. And check out this video next.